Hey guys, welcome to Codenbox Automation Lab. Shortfall here. So in this lecture, we're going to see how to handle frame in Selenium. So what is frame? A frame is a part of a web page or browser window which display content independently on its container. The HTML or media elements that goes into a frame may or may not come from the same website. So if we want to see an example, let's go to our automation practice page. And here you can see this is one example is called iframe example or frame example. So you can see this is a separate, area in your HTML page, in your page where there is some content it's showing. Nowadays, the frame is very famously used in your web application. You will see if you go to any website, say e-commerce website, say example, your like Air Canada, the airlines website, you will see on the right side or some of the corner like this, it will show you, to book like hotel, the ad is coming from maybe hotels.com, booking.com. So that's the content is coming from different side, and also it's showing on a specific area in your site. So most of the times, those are the frame. So here example, you can see this is a frame. This is a separate division area, and it's the content it's coming from different website. This is a completely separate website. We know this is a codenbox.com. So this side is showing over here, and then inside a frame. Okay, this could be the frame too, like you follow us on Facebook, this could be the frame, because it is showing the content is coming from different side. So the frame, the content could be come from the same application or come from different side. And how you understand that whether this area this is frame or not, to understand that, let's inspect this uh, you know this content. And if we inspect that, you will see, let's expand this, and let's see, you can see this is the iframe example. So this is the text, and now this is the actual, you can see actual HTML code that's represent that area. And you can see this HTML at the beginning, it started with the tag is called iframe. Okay, and also this is the closing iframe. So if there is a frame, if you have a frame in your page, to the easier way to understand whether this is frame or not, it is will start with a iframe tag. So to create a frame, developer they have to use a tag name is called iframe. Okay, so that's a easier way to understand whether this is a frame or not. And you can see there's the source link. So where this content is coming from, is coming from codenbox.com. Okay, so that's the frame. So let's say that how we can test. If you have an element inside, if you have a frame in your page, and if you need to test, you have to test this, make sure that the element is displaying over here, and it's a things different button or any content is working it's supposed to inside the frame. Then the question is why this is different. So we can just right click and inspect and click on contact us. Is that going to work? No. This, since this content is coming from different resource, and this area it's the content is displaying over here, it's a separate area. It's not like regular your div. You can see each and every other elements to create we use the div, but the frame it's way different. Okay, even though it's a part of the HTML, but it's way different because our WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver, they have some limitation. They cannot read or locate any element that inside the frame. But there is a way to do this, but directly if we just spy this element like contact us, like the regular way we do, driver.find the element and pass the locator and click on there, it's not going to work because this element inside the frame. So what's the process? The process is over here. It's very simple. First, you have to confirm how many frame you have in this page. So in your application or this page you are doing automate, you might have a more than one frame. So first things first, you have to find, how many frame you have in your page. Since every frame started with a tag name, as I should tell you that it started with the tag name is iframe. So if you have a more frame in your page, each and every frame will start with the iframe. So easily we can use the tag name. We can say driver.find element. Since we're searching for more than one element, that's why we're using a find elements method by tag name. So because every frame is started with the tag name, it's called iframe. So we can use this locator and use the apply the size method in this locator. So this will return you total number of frame. So that's the first thing. So we have to find how many frame we have, and then we have to switch our driver from HTML page to frame, the frame you are working. So if you have a multiple frame in this page, then you have to tell hey driver switch, hey driver switch to. So this is the built-in method that comes with the Selenium API. Switch to where frame, and then what frame, because if you have a multiple frame, then you have to pass the index number of the frame. So example, you have a two frame on your application, so the one would be the started frame, always count with the indexing number, is follow the indexing number. So first frame will be index 0, second frame will be index 1, and so on. So you have to find out exactly what's the index number of your frame. So if this frame's index number is 0, that time I have to pass the frame index number like 0. Then our driver will switch from our regular HTML page to this frame. Then we can do follow the regular process, like you use the regular locator and apply the whatever the action you want to do, like on a contact us or finding any text, and do some assertion, whatever you need to do, we'll do the follow the same process. Then and we'll see that is that working or not. Okay, that's the way we can verify any test element inside the frame. And when your test is done inside the frame, still our driver is located inside the frame. Driver scope is limited inside the frame. So that time, we have to return back our driver from this frame to regular our HTML page. To do this, we have to tell the back to the default window after the automation done with the frame. So we have to tell again driver switch to, there is a method is called default content. So it will let the driver back to our automation page in our regular HTML page, and then you will keep continue testing your with other elements that's built in with your HTML regular page. Okay, that's the idea, that's the way we can handle the frame. So let's go back to our Eclipse. Okay, let's create a class. We'll create a class, give a name as a frame exercise or frame test. Okay, there is a main method. Let's copy the prerequisite code. Okay, and so here is our new Chrome driver object. There is a maximize window. Let's put this one before we launch our application. Moving forward, we're going to use as our standard. So driver.manage delete all cookies, not the get all cookies, delete all cookies, delete all cookies. So this is the best practice, good to have in your code. So when you start your new executions, better to clear your old cache or old story. So that will delete all of your cookies, so you will have a new fresh start. And then maximize window, that's fine. We can add the implicitly wait, that could be the part of your best practice moving forward. So let's go and let's go to our application. So this is our application for now. Okay, this is our application. And now the first things first, as I said, what we are going to do, we're going to count how many frames we have in our page, right? We're going to do this. Let's That's the things we're going to do. How many frames we have in a page? We have in a page by using size method, right? So we'll say driver dot find elements. So we're going to use the find elements as I explained by dot we're going to use a tag name. So tag name for any frame is started with a it's called iframe. So you can see, I can show you once again. Let's copy this one, inspect this area. I just showed you. So once again, I'm going to show you. Fill set, go inside, and this is the iframe. You see, iframe. Okay, iframe. So we're assuming that you might have a multiple frames in your page. That's why we're using again find elements dot size method. Okay, so this will give us the total number of frame. So let's use in a variable in a count, and return would be integer. Okay, let's put in system dot. So this is the shortcut way to write system dot out dot println. Sys out that control that hit enter, and a control then space then hit enter. So it will give you the write the system dot out dot println count. Okay, count. Okay, save it, and then let's run it. See this how many frame, because we have to confirm that is there one frame or two frame. If it's a multiple frame we have, then we have to find the index number for our targeting frame, right? So run it. Okay, let's launch the page. Okay, here we go. So you will not see anything, but let's wait until finish. The execution is done. So let's close it. We can see, okay, here you can see number 2. See, so it has a 2, it has a 2. The answer is right. You can see 2, right? So it has a 2 frame in this page. So now the interesting part that we have to find how many, what is the index number for our frame. So you have to try one by one. So let's see, assume that our targeting frame. So I can, verify that what is the other frame. You can use our selectors hub, and here, so we know this, to locate any frame we use iframe, right? This tag name. So you can easily put that iframe, hit enter. You can say it's saying the two elements matching. So where is this matching? So one is here, one is here, you can see, and here is, oh, another one is just say the follow us on Facebook. So this area also frames. This is the 2 frame. So now our target frame is this one, like the Codenbox one. So we are going to assume that this is our index number 0, whether this is index number 0 or this is index number 0. So let's try to use a index number 0. Let's try with our targeted frame is a index number 0. Let's see how it works. So assume that that's what we know, that is our targeted index number is 0. So that time we're going to say the second thing should be let's switch our driver, switch our driver to frame, switch the driver to frame using index number from starting with the 0. Like the frame 1 would be the 0 and frame 2 would be 1, and so on. Depends on what in frame you are going to work and what is the index number. So let's say driver dot, also the driver dot switch, driver dot switch to where. So we're saying, hey driver, switch to where? Switch to, we're going to say frame. Okay, call the frame, and you can see it's expecting int integer number index, which is right. So we'll say, let's put the 0. Okay, so we're saying the driver switch to frame 0. So we're assuming again, our targeting frames index number is 0. Let's do something so that we can see uh, what we can do. We'll do a very simple thing here. Let me see what test we can do. So let's find out the extract the text called awesome features. Let's inspect this awesome features. So span this awesome features, and if we try to use the selector sum awesome features, okay, awesome features, awesome features, and if you try to use selector sub body, if you're not able to find, let me see. Okay, okay, from here maybe deep. So sometimes you will not able to, it's not easy to spy any locator inside the frame. So you can see where spy over here, but it's nothing showing through the selectors hum, right? It's not, those are not legitimate, you know, XPath or CSS selectors. So let me see to see if I use the copy say XPath. Let me see how it looks. Let's paste it here. Span text ID dv2 zero element. You see it's showing zero element, so it's not a good. So you can go actual sites. For example, our site is codenbox.com. Here I go over here, and then if I want to, you know, inspect this one, so this is the one. So here is the HTML code, and this is the one that I want to select, right? Selector tab XPath. Let me again spy this. Here we go. You can see here is a XPath, right? So XPath, there is a XPath. Copy this one and paste it here. Let's see if it can. Yes, it's a one element matching, and you can see this. You know, so let me show you these things. Um, okay, and you can see here it's matching. Okay, so awesome. So this is the right XPath. So let's get back to our code here. So we'll say driver dot find element by XPath. So this is the XPath. And then what do you want to do? So this is the text, right? Let's get the text. Use the get text method. Get text method. So we can extract the text, and then let's put this one in a variable, right? So what's the variable? So variable is the given name features. Okay, this is the variable, and type would be string, because get text method will always return a string type, right? So now if we want, we can do some assertion. Assert equals, we can, you know, verify it, compare between whatever we get the the actual text versus expected text. You know, it's up to you. You can do this, or you can just, you know, I'm going to print this one. This out, this out. Let's print uh, this variable, so I can see is that really, because I'm not sure 100% even that this frame is index number is 0. So let's save it and then print it. Okay, let me say driver dot quit quit. Okay, run it. So invoke the browser. Okay, that's right. It's closed. Here we go. You can see this is the total number of size is 0, I mean 2, right? And there is a awesome features is printed. So it means that our targeted frame index number is 0. So no problem. We are fine. And it went through and it able to, spy this locator, and it extract the text, puts in this variable, and then after that it's print the value of that, the that string in our console, you can see. Okay, so that's pretty much, how you can, look at the element inside the frame, how we can switch your driver to frame. Now before we finish that, our driver is still inside this frame, over here. Okay, so if you have a more script on the same class, same test class, you have to, and you want to do more test cases, write the scripts, you have to get back your driver from this frame, outside of this frame, out of this frame, and get back to the normal HTML page. If you don't do this, you will see that your driver will not able to work on your regular HTML page. Let's do a test. So I would say, let's find example. So assume that in the same page we have LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's inspect. Assume that this is our next, test item, that is a LinkedIn profile. After verify LinkedIn profile and click on this link to make sure is that working or not. Okay, so here is a LinkedIn profile. So this is a string. So since this is a text and it has a URL, so we can easily use driver dot find element by, let's use the link text, since this text has a link. Okay, so this is the text, and we're going to click on there, right? Click on there. So assume that this is our next test cases. Okay, let's see what happened if we right click and run it. Invoke the browser, and okay, the execution is done, but it didn't close the browser, and even it didn't click on the linked profile. We know this, apart from the last, click on the link profile, our test script was running fine. It was able to find the element, the text awesome features inside of here, but now it didn't click on the LinkedIn profile, so it didn't find the LinkedIn profile. You can see, let's check our console. So in our console, it's saying that, so you can see awesome features been found. The total number of frame is 2, but there is an exception. Here is an exception. It's saying that no such element exception. It means no such is element. You can say, read the error or exception when you get, don't be panic when you see any error. It's saying that unable to locate element. So it said it's unable to find the element while using a link text. And here is the link, the text we use, linked purpose. So it's clearly saying this locator was unable to spy. Why? Because as I said, our driver is still inside this frame. So to work outside of the frame, we have to tell our driver, back to default HTML window. Then it will able to work as usual. Okay, so how we can say, so now next things would be, before we work on our regular HTML page, we have to tell our driver it, back to default window, default HTML window, HTML page or window, you can say HTML page. To do this, we have a method. So we'll say again, driver. I do always typo for when I type driver dot switch to where it's called default. So default content, you can say default content. So this will driver to switch to default content. So this will switch back our driver from this frame to our default page or default window. Okay, then you can spy regularly as you do and work. Let's run now. Let's we'll give a comment this one so that we can see the execution. Run Java application. Invoke the browser. Here we go. You see, it's clicked on the LinkedIn, this link. It clicked up there, and that's why there is another window open. This is my LinkedIn profile. So it means now it's working. Okay, I hope that is very clear. That's all about the frame, how to handle the frame, or how to spy the or test in iframe. Okay, thank you.